So in this video I'm going to show you how to use the time and the weather in the game. So in order to do that, I have loaded a small demo here containing a few monsters, a few characters, and a very small dungeon that will be perfect to get some shadows. So it all happens in the option window here. You've got a time and weather section. So first of all, the simplest of the option is the weather. Well, what I call weather is just the amount of cloud that you're going to get in the sky. So let's have a look at the sky here, and you can see that if I put the number of clouds to 0, then I get no clouds at all. And if I put a large number, for example 5 here, then I get lots of clouds. Alright, and the more I put, the more white sky becomes. So let's go back to the default value of 1, which is quite nice. And let's go on with the time. So next option we're going to see is the hour. So currently it's noon. You can see that the sun here is high up in the sky. So let us change this, for example, to 0 midnight in order to get a nice starry night here. Okay, so let's come back to 12. You can also move the sun in the sky by modifying its speed. For example, let's put quite a high speed here in order to see the sun setting and rising. You can see that we're on full night. The sun is below the horizon and it will hopefully rise at the east. Right, here it comes. Okay. So the next thing is what I call the season. It's just the inclination of the sun orbit below the horizon. For example, if I set this to 0, well, it has no real meaning, but the sun is just orbiting horizontally around our scene here. So let's put a small value here, and you can see that the sun, where is he? Well, we're going to wait for it to rise. And you can see here that it's quite low on the horizon. So let's modify this value. Let's go for 45 here. Apply. The night is a little bit fuller, and you can see that when the sun is going to rise here, he will go higher above the horizon, 45 degrees to be precise. He will be 45 degrees up at noon. Now let's go to a very high value, for example 90 here to simulate summer, and let's go and apply. So the night will be again fuller and fuller, and the sun is now coming up, going through the zenith. Okay, so let us stop the sun here, go back to a reasonable value, for example 70 here, and set the time of the day to 12. So we've got the sun up high here in the sky. The next thing you can modify is the sun brightness. So again, the sun brightness and the ambient brightness here are set up automatically, but if you want to set it manually, then you can do it. You just uncheck the auto checkbox here, and you can put any value that you want. For if you want a very low sun here, then you can see that it's quite dark, and if you want a super bright sun, let us put a very high value here to get what we would get if we were, for example, in a very hot desert. So let's come back to an automatic value here and apply. You can see that the automatic value is what, 9.3. And let's talk a little bit about the ambient light here, the ambient brightness. So this will determine the brightness of anything that is not directly exposed to the sun. For example, here if I uncheck this and put this to 0, you can see, I'm going to apply here, you can see that anything that is not directly exposed to the sun is completely black here. We cannot see a thing because we are facing the sun. So obviously that's not very pleasant for the eye, so let us put some value here, for example 5, and you can see that things are starting to appear. And if I want to put a very high value, then it's like the sun is everywhere. Not very interesting here. This option can be used, for example, let's go back to a reasonable value here. This option can be used, for example, if you want to simulate a full moon. For example, let's go back to midnight here, and let us put some automatic value. So you can see that by default the night is quite dark. You can see a little bit of things, but not too much here. So if you want to simulate some full moon here, let us put, oops, wrong window. Let us put some value, let us uncheck the auto here, and let us try 1 and apply. And you can see that we're still in full moon, but yet we've got some light here. Maybe 1 is a bit strong, so let us try 0.5 or even 0.1. Alright, that would be a nice full moon here. So we're still in full night here, and yet we've got some ambient light. Alright, let's go back to the default value, which will give us a dark night again. Alright, so I hope that it's made the time and weather option more clear. And thank you very much guys again, and see you in the next video.